What's going on, guys? Back with another Duramax video, and today we are going lower and wider. So we're going to be reverse leveling the truck. I've got some 3-inch drop shackles. I'm not sure what we'll set them on yet. We got to measure the truck and see how it looks afterwards. We can adjust it up and down depending on what we want to go with. And as well, we got some wheel spacers. So take a peek. The front end of these trucks stick out a good bit more than the rear. I actually opted for the 1.5 inch, which I'll probably regret, but it's not quite a full 2 inches out. And for whatever reason, it really bugs me when the rear tires stick out even a little bit farther than the front. So I figured we'd opt for playing it safe, go with a 1.5 inch spacer. We will have to cut our studs down, but I think it's going to give us the perfect look. And we got some new backdrops. I figured, you know what, I'll just load up everything, take it to my in-laws' house, and film some content with some different backgrounds and surroundings. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a good day. I'm stoked to see this thing sitting level. I got a leveling kit, upper control arms, lower ball joints, whole bunch of things ordered for the truck. I am gonna be raising it up, but there's no telling how long some of that stuff will come in because it is kryptonite and they take forever to ship. So I figured we'd go ahead and reverse level it before we did all that, since it might be a while. So the front, right there, a little bit under 8.5 inches, and the rear, so it looks like it's only about 1 inch higher in the rear, which it looks much bigger than that. We'll see. Sometimes drop shackles don't come out to the exact amount, like a 3-inch might not actually drop it 3 inches. So we'll go ahead and throw it in, see how it looks. And like I said, if we do want to bring it back up, there's a couple different adjustment holes. It'll be easy to do that. All right, there's gonna be a 13/16 on both sides of this lower. Same deal up top. Now, unlike a lot of the newer trucks, we are unfortunately going to have to drop our hitch to get this lower bolt out, because as you see, it's right there. Can't go anywhere. There's no hole. They made it nice and convenient for us. So got, I think, 3 bolts right here. Got the 2 right here on each side. Drop this hitch out, and then we can get access to that lower bolt. I want to start off by removing your trailer connection. Just push this in, wiggle it out, and then make sure you take the Christmas tree off as well, so you don't rip this down when you drop that hitch. All these are 13/16 as well. On these back 2 bolts, you will have to hold the top. From past experience, I found the best way to get this off without crushing yourself is to get under here. You can kind of prop this up with your knee, take these bolts out, and it's just the easiest way to manhandle it. Drop her down. And one helpful tip that I always do is cut the end of this off. That way when we put the shackle back in, we can put this bolt in that way, and it's not too long to where it hits. And then if we ever want to swap this out, we don't have to drop our hitch again. We just take it out from this side, no big deal. So now we got to jack the truck up to get the weight off of this leaf spring so we can pull these bolts out, swap the shackle. We got a little bit sketchy, ain't gonna lie, because I forgot to bring my extra pieces of wood. But basically just jack it up from there until the weight is off of the truck. And now we should be able to tap these babies out of there, and we can lower the truck and get the bolts out from above the frame. Now just go ahead and slip your bolt out. Drop shackle should drop straight on down. Now we do have to prep our new shackles just by throwing this little grease fitting in there. You can go ahead and pump some grease in it now, or after you get it installed, ready to throw it in. Now we just got to jack the truck up to get this shackle to sit back on the frame. So for starters, definitely don't do that sketchy stuff that I had with all those other boards. I went up and cut me a new one. Got it right there. It's a lot more secure. Probably your best bet is to jack the truck up really high and put the frame on jack stands, and then you can just lower and raise the rear axle to line these things up. Probably a lot easier to do that. I just did it a little sketchy because I didn't have all my tools with me, but as you see, we're almost lined up there, and I just put this bolt in. So doing them at the same time shouldn't have any issues. I'm just gonna have to jack the truck up maybe a couple more pumps, slide that bolt in, and we're ready to bolt these babies down and sit the truck down and see how it looks. All right, got our bolts all tightened down on our shackle. There's the cut one. I'm gonna grease that, drop the truck down, throw the hitch on, be ready to see how this thing looks. Quick Jeep update for those that have seen the 1 or 2 videos that this thing was in and liked it. Had to get the trans rebuilt, but she's running strong. Got the rough country lift, the Firestones. It's a little beast. Catching back up with y'all at the farm because the big air compressor that I brought wouldn't run on their outdoor plug. But here's the before. I've got the driver's side done, so you can see how much farther that front one sticks out than this one. Versus if we come over here, boom, it looks perfect. I haven't put a tape measure to it, but I think the 1.5 is gonna be absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all exactly how you zip the ends of these off. There's no issues with the studs going back on or the nuts going back on the studs. As long as you do this right, you don't cut too much off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off and we'll get to cutting. So if we slip on this 1.5 inch spacer, you'll see the studs actually stick out past it. That's why a full 2 inch spacer should clear this to where you don't have to cut anything, but the 1.5 to me looks perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the ends of these off. You see right here is where the threads actually end or begin. So all this is just extra that you don't technically need. So we're gonna come back a little bit off the threads this way. Zip these babies off all the way around. Now that we got them cut down, throw your spacer on and just look over the top. Make sure you don't see any of those sticking out. 100% sure that you get them all cut down enough. All right, let's put our wheel on. Guys, well, here she is, reverse leveled and spaced out in the rear. It is a smidge lower in the rear now, which we could adjust up to that second hole. Bring it up a little bit. It pretty much flipped from 1 inch higher in the rear to a little bit under 1 inch lower in the rear. I think the 1.5 inch spacers is literally perfect. I think the 2 would have stuck it out too far and been noticeable, whereas now, like I said, I think it's perfect. It's so crazy just doing little suspension changes because now you can like see the back of the bed. You can see a large portion of the sunroof now. You just slide right onto them back seats now. I don't know if you'll get lucky like me, but I'll have a link to the drop shackles and the spacers in the description. I only ordered 2 spacers. They sent me 4. I look back, they haven't charged me, so got charged for 2 spacers and ended up getting 4. Don't know what I'll ever need the other 2 for, but maybe you'll get lucky like me. I'm just sitting here working on another project. My Duramax is chilling straight in front of me. And the more I look at it, the more I don't like the baby squat. the little bit of lean. It's just treating me wrong, and typically the exact stance looks perfect to me on most all the trucks I've had, but not the Duramax. I think we're gonna have to swap that bolt out, bring it up just a touch, hopefully have it sitting perfectly level. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll catch up with y'all. Check it out. Just got done swapping it over. It's not on its own weight yet, but since earlier in the video I did talk about the proper way to do this swap, I wanted to show y'all. This is the proper way. Jack the truck up real tall, put it on jack stands, and then you can just go up and down with the jack on the rear end. You don't have to do any of that sketchy crap you saw earlier in the video. I just didn't have the right tools. So as you see, we are now on the lower bolt. So that should put us up just a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead, jack the truck up, get the jack stands out. We'll see how it's looking. All right, guys, let's check this baby out now that we brought it up to the second level, I guess down to the second level of lowering. We're not completely on flat ground, but looks much better in my opinion. Sorry about the wind, per the usual. Yeah, it looks a lot better to me. Not too low in the rear, maybe half an inch lower. Listen to that thing, purr, boy. But yeah, this definitely looks a lot better. So if you want to reverse level your truck, or you want to level your truck, but you don't want to crank the front up any, and you want to spend as little amount of money as possible, drop shackles are definitely the way to go. You don't have to get an alignment after. You don't have to spend much money. They're like 40 bucks. Save yourself $100 alignment. And if you're not running ridiculous size wheels and tires, you just want to give it that leveled stance, drop shackles are perfect because they will do exactly that. And they probably make like a 1 to 2 rather than a 2 to 3 inch, which might have been better. But if I do end up taking these off when I do raise the front up, I got a good idea where they need to go. They need to go on Jacob's truck when he gets it back, because that thing desperately needs to be reverse leveled, because it's dropped in the front but stock in the rear. I might just have to go over to his house one day and just swap them babies out. But I'm stoked. Looks clean. It's definitely a good look to rock for a while until, like I said, we probably will, or we are, bringing it up taller. So I'm stoked with that. Y'all comment down below, let me know. Do you like the low and wide look? You excited for it to come up as high as possible without a lift kit? Or do you think we should go lower? Should we have left the drop shackles in fully dropped and then just drop the front keys down? Let me know. But with that being said, hopefully y'all did enjoy. Comment down below, let me know. I'll see y'all in the next one.